Market Peak with Seth and Matt. Welcome everybody, this is Seth and Matt with Market Peak, P-E-E-K. Today is Sunday, well actually today's Saturday, but we're recording our Sunday, March 21st episode. Always record on Saturday evenings. Please, before we get started, subscribe and like. If you want to wait a little bit just to see if you like us first, that's fine. We get it. On Sundays, we're going to prepare you for Monday, what to expect, some possible trades to consider, things to look forward to. We're going to have our options attack as well. Just give you some advanced option strategies, some things to think about. And as always, we're going to make our predictions, that's for sure. So always got to say it. We are not financial advisors. None of this is official advice. Definitely do your own research, do your D-squared, consult your professionals. And, any comments you might have, please let us know. And also, we get a lot of people that share. We're still a new show, but we're running about a month and a half. Really excited, really thankful for the subscriptions that we've gotten and the follows and all that. So all the shares and all that, it's really helped. So, all right, options attack. So Matthew, I guess we'll go ahead and jump in. So number one, sell VXX calls. And I've got VXX up here right now. Right now we're at 1278. Please go for it.
So selling VXX calls interests me right now because a lot of people are looking at the choppiness of the market and thinking that we're ripe for a downturn. A lot of people buying out the money VXX calls right now, expecting a huge spike on the cash index. So, and by the way, the VXX tracks an actual tracker that tracks the VIX.
Yep.
So basically you're playing volatility.
100%.
Okay? So I would start selling VXX out the money strike prices.
How far out would you say? We're at 1277 now.
I don't think it matters.
Really? Okay. Because you expect it to go down. Okay. Sure.
Yeah. So the premiums right now you'll be collecting will be worth it. We're a little volatile right now. The market is giving us a nice range. Sell VXX out the money, strike prices, collect that premium.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's say someone does sell one. So, just for new people out there, what does that exactly entail? Let's say you sell it, you collect whatever that amount is going to be. Obviously, you don't want it to be in the money. Let's say it does end up in the money. What could you end up being faced with?
You're going to get exercised on.
Sure.
So it hits that strike price or comes close to hitting that strike price. The counterparty who you sell to could decide to exercise, forcing you to buy those shares at the strike price.
Sure.
That could be a lot of money. But here's the thing with volatility, you get such sudden dramatic spikes that in the case of downside action, it might be worth it to, get exercised on and then purchase those shares, knowing that they're going to eventually
go back up.
Sure.
Okay.
So, which kind of leads us into
number two
on the list.
Buy VXX. So
yeah, I love this one because when you sell VXX puts, right? Basically, what you're betting on is people kind of getting too excited about the market right now.
Sure.
And the worst case scenario, say you're selling deep out the money VXX puts. What's the VXX at right now?
1277.
1277, great. So say your out the money strike price you're selling is $11, right? You collect that premium. The chances of the VXX hitting $11 is low, but if it does, you'll get exercised on. You'll have to purchase 100 shares at that strike price. But if it goes that low, chances are you're going to get bounce back up, and then you just sell. You collect that premium, and then you sell those shares. And basically what you've done now is purchase shares at a discount.
And playing with the VXX, it does have volatility for the VXX, but it's not super, super volatile when compared to other stocks as well.
Yeah.
So it's a little bit more stable in that regard. So, I mean, I guess that would kind of make the risk a little bit lower than doing this with a stock for that matter. And then, all right, so number three, buy calls or puts heading into earnings.
Yeah. Oh, and so really quickly, not to backtrack
Sure.
to the VXX, but the reason why I chose the VXX, I like to play volatility, or I like to sell volatility, is because it's purely sentiment driven.
Sure.
Right. So there's more risk to the writer when you're dealing with individual stocks, right? Because you could have a negative or positive news story come and blow your trade out.
True.
Right. And you could, that does happen with the VIX. Like if Apple suddenly comes out with a news story, it's partnering with Tesla or something like that. You're selling calls. I mean, you're in trouble because Apple's going to move the entire market.
Sure.
But overall, the VIX, like you said, is kind of like a safer bet, and a lot of people right now are secretly bearish.
I mean, if Apple and
play that to your advantage,
and Tesla, form a partnership, I mean, Tesla's moving the market too. I'm just saying,
it is in the S&P.
Yes,
I'm kind of living a year ago in the past.
Sure. All right, so number 3. So we're getting back to that.
Okay,
so buy calls.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Buying calls and puts heading into earnings, especially on stocks offering manageable IV.
Yep.
So if you
what
take
would you
a look
consider
at,
manageable? Like what? Because right now, all the stuff that I look at, I don't see anything. Even the VXX is trading in the 90s right now.
Yeah. So I would say anything with any strike price on, say, a monthly contract with historically low IV.
Okay.
Right. So say FCEL is a good example, right? Pretty volatile stock. IV's historically been very high, historically as in like the past year.
Sure.
Say the average volatility heading into quarterly earnings reports is in like that 300% level. And you just so happen to notice that slightly out of the money strike price on a monthly contract is, say, at 200% or lower than that. There might be some premium to collect there. You might be able to ride that premium spike into earnings, sell before earnings, thus kind of like de-risking a little bit, and still making a small but solid profit off that.
Just off the volatility.
Yes, exactly.
Yes,
exactly. Just off the volatility.
I got you.
And in this strategy, I normally buy puts and calls close to the money. So there's a little less risk there
and incentive in case you want to sell it.
Yeah.
Because obviously, if you're close to the money, it's a lot easier to sell. So if you want to,
exactly,
I got you.
And you can still profit off that premium increase. If you want to take on more risk, you can buy puts or calls heading into earnings and hold through earnings.
Yeah. Which I didn't do that with FCEL, but I got in like a few days, maybe like a week before earnings, and paid a little bit of the price. I'm not that far. I actually kind of got it when it was trickling back up again. So I'm kind of at a break even right now, but still it's painful here and there. All right. Number 4, selling puts on any meme. This makes sense, but it's memes can crash, but please take it away.
Yeah. So here's the thing. If you sell puts on GME and you get exercised on, you have a bunch of shares of GME at a low price. Sure. Right.
That's true.
So, and let me be specific and say that you should sell puts deep out of the money.
Yeah, like $50 GME puts.
Yeah. Collect that premium. IV is going to be high. If the counterparty doesn't exercise, if that strike price isn't reached, you've collected all that premium. If it does get reached, you get exercised on, you collect the premium, and you have shares at a heavily discounted price.
Sure. Absolutely.
Because imagine being forced to buy GME shares at like $50.
Sure.
Right.
Yeah. I wouldn't hate it.
You could make more money. You could be in a better position had you have actually just collected the premium and had the strike price not been hit.
Sure.
So it's just an interesting setup.
I mean, I wonder what the chances of that, like somebody saying, yeah, I'll buy that. I
mean, people buy anything.
Yeah, fair enough. That's interesting.
But the only downside about this trade in particular is that it's going to cost you you have to buy 100 shares of the stock.
Sure. Sure.
Right? So that's not going to be cheap, but the premium will be high.
Yeah.
And the end result, so long as you're willing to stay disciplined and hold, it should be a positive one.
Yeah. All right. And then number 5, sell puts or calls heading into earnings. So, and is this is, another IV trade, I assume?
Yeah, exactly. So selling into earnings basically is a bet that any anticipated trading range will not come to fruition. So this strategy works best with highly volatile stocks who have outperformed or underperformed historically earnings.
Yep.
And in other words, a lot of people
FCEL.
are anticipating a big move. Yeah.
Sure.
And when there's that much anticipation and you open the order book and you see a lot of people, buying those puts and calls, especially out of the money, that tells me that the person who wins in this case is the writer, the seller.
Yeah. Makes sense.
Just collect that premium.
Sure.
You won't make as much money, right? But it'll be less risky than buying out the money calls or puts heading to earnings.
Makes sense. All right. Well, that's pretty much it. There's our list of 5. So we appreciate it. I think it's some interesting stuff. Maybe I could have sold a call on VXX instead of buying the put. Or maybe I just do both and kind of do a little hedgy action there. So, but I definitely like the list. That's pretty awesome.
Yeah.
For sure.
I'd be considering like covered calls maybe.
Sure.
But again, we have to see what happens next week with the VIX. The VIX is being a little persnickety right now.
It is very persnickety right now. It just can't make up our minds. Damn it. So, all right. So Monday prep. So, what do we like moving forward? What are we kind of looking forward to? I will say the number one thing, obviously, is the reveal in Iowa for shrimp SHMP. I can't.
Is that being live streamed by any chance?
Doubt it. I don't know. I mean, that'd be cool. I mean, I don't know how much fanfare there's going to be with that, but I think it'd be pretty cool. But either way, there'll be some videos we can watch. Hopefully, there's some PR. Hopefully, some big just waiting for somebody to be like, yeah, we're on board with this. Some big institution or something like that. So. What about you? Anything you're looking forward to? Anything you like moving forward?
I mean, shrimp, obviously.
Sure.
I'll be scanning Des Moines Register articles for any signs of news coverage.
Sure.
I don't know. I have a really, really good feeling about this one. Again, I'm also coming in, from that long duration standpoint.
Sure.
I think this is like a potential 50 bagger personally over the course of time.
Sure.
But other stocks I'm looking at, basically all the ones we talk about, AITX.
Fuel Cell for sure.
Fuel Cell, Plug Power.
Yeah.
Another big one.
Palantir.
Obviously they took a hit yesterday. Yeah, Palantir. So Plug Power really quickly has some negative news surrounding it right now.
Counting.
It had to pretty much an accounting, quote unquote, error or miscalculation, however you want to term it.
Yeah, you can see it right there.
People are going short. Yeah.
Yeah.
That people are bearish on the stock, and bearishness without due diligence
Sure.
Typically presents a trade opportunity going in the opposite direction, because we really don't know. I bet you the people who went out and bought puts, who went out and directly shorted this stock after that news, the majority of them probably didn't really do the research.
Sure.
And weren't patient, aren't willing to wait and see how this story actually plays out. And all it's going to take is a little bit of squeeze, a little upside action, maybe across the sector, to bust out all those shorts and send that stock flying. And I do think it flies again over the next month personally.
It has room to possibly go down to like 31 and a half. That would be the next level of support, but it looks like for now, like around the 35, 36 area is kind of where it wants to be. I mean, we'll see what happens next week. I agree with you, though. I feel like it's done with its little bottoming out. I think people were like, okay, now it's time to get some more. It's really, really cheap. Because if you look, it's only like a month ago, it was essentially almost twice of what it is right now. So I'm definitely with you on that one. Same thing with Fuel Cell. I expect Fuel Cell to do really, really well coming up this week. I feel like it's got done. I feel like it's finished getting its butt whooped. Let's see, where are we? Yeah, 14.97, and a month ago it was almost $30. So yeah, and if you notice, they're both kind of following the same thing. This whole sector kind of moves along with itself, and when it missed, you could see it kind of just everything got screwed up. When plug missed, fuel cells suffered a little bit also. All right, so as far as next week, stay cautious, as we had mentioned in the last show. You were mentioning, Matthew, how usually right after options expiration, there's usually a drop so they can suck the bears in and stuff. You're kind of iffy on whether that's going to happen next week. Maybe it might take a little bit of a week. So, still feeling the same way?
Look, I'll say that whereas I'm unsure about next week, I'm definitely bullish on the month of April. It's a historically strong month for stocks. Everyone just got a stimulus check, or most people did.
Stimmies.
And that should, stim dog.
Yeah.
And that should be good for liquidity,
Sure.
especially in some of these high-flying stocks that have made people a lot of money recently. Wall Street, if not that this is like an indicator of anything, but Wall Street Bets continues to grow, continues to gain mainstream media attention.
Sure do.
And as that community grows, honestly, like the investment community surrounding a lot of these meme stock is just going to continue to grow.
They need to get some hats. I'd wear the hat. If I can get a really nice pimped out hat for Wall Street Bets, I'd wear it.
Yeah, heck yeah.
So
because what they're doing is interesting. It's cool.
It's freaking great. It's great. Yeah. And a lot of people complain, they kind of ruined it, all these people in here. And I get it. I totally get it. But at the same time, if you've been in it long enough, you can weed through the bullshit and know really what's going on in there. So either way. All right. So Fed speeches are coming up this week, right? What's going on?
So Jerome Powell and I believe some other regional Fed presidents are going to be speaking, presumably about the economy, about where they think inflation is headed, and about what is apparently their core mandate jobs.
Sure.
Although I would argue that the stock market would be their core mandate
sure.
at the moment, given how closely linked it is to the economy.
100%.
A lot of people, including CNBC, mainstream media outlets, would argue that the stock market is disconnected from the real economy. Just look at prices versus fundamentals. Why do we have this crazy rally in spite of COVID? All these companies
are they only looking at Tesla? What's going on?
Yeah, but they've been wrong. So, not CNBC in particular,
sure.
but everyone who says that we shouldn't be this high has been wrong. So we're just this high. So, you got to look at the trend. Think that overall, we're just going to continue to head higher.
Okay. So with that being said, tomorrow on Monday, VIX.
Oh, God.
So do you feel like tomorrow we will finish below 20? Because right now it's like 21. So do you feel like we'll dip below 20? Let's put it that way.
Not on Monday,
okay.
But I do think we dip below 20 and close a daily candle below 20 a couple times next week.
Okay.
Like I said, I think, yeah.
You expect it to be kind of flat.
But
overall.
So the VIX, but I think when the VIX stays flat, the market is still capable of grinding higher.
Sure.
That's the thing. The VIX doesn't always directly one-on-one correlate with the S&P. Sometimes the VIX goes higher and the S&P goes higher
sure.
at the same time. It depends.
Right.
Sometimes there's a lag in either one. The VIX sometimes lags the S&P and vice versa.
We'll see.
So next week, what do you think? Are you feeling bullish? Are you kind of cautious?
I feel like we're not going to have. I feel like Monday is going to be. It's not going to be like a great Monday. I feel like it's going to be a couple indexes up, couple indexes down. Maybe the same thing Tuesday. Tuesday might be a regular Tuesday, and then I could see things maybe grinding up, starting to move up a little bit after that. It's hard to say, though. You said it before. The VIX is just, being difficult. It doesn't know what it wants to do, and I feel like with where it is right now, it could go up from here. I feel like it's going to go up on Monday. Just saying. Which sucks for my put.
Like a lot, or?
I would say, 23, 24. I feel settle.
That's a lot.
It is. Well, it's like 10%. I feel like it's possible. I hope I'm wrong. I wouldn't mind being wrong. I got a put on the VXX, which was up 20% until yesterday happened. So,
do you think Jerome Powell is going to say something that'll scare markets?
I don't think so. I don't know. I feel like the last thing he wants to do is to say anything that's going to scare markets. I'm sure it's going to be all about, yoo-hoo, It's going to be all positive stuff. They might mix a little negative stuff in there just to seem fair and balanced. So we'll see.
Yeah.
We'll see. All right. Any last minute thoughts?
Take risks and don't get scared by this past week's price action.
Sure. You can only lose by selling, folks.
Exactly.
That's for sure. So, all right. Well, please leave us a comment with your thoughts. Or several comments. If you like this and you're still watching, please hit the like button. Please subscribe. Share with your friends. Thanks for watching. Check out our other show, Because We Said So. I'll put a link down below. That's more current events, more macro stuff. Just a lot of really interesting stuff with what's going on in the world. So it's a little bit more fun, a little bit more risque. It's a fun show.
Great to listen to on your drive to work.
That's true. You'll definitely laugh. You'll definitely learn some stuff. We have the video show, but we get a lot of downloads on the audio. The video show is a great show. I spent a lot of time producing it. There's 4 of us. But whatever, it's all right. I don't mind this one being the YouTube winner and that one being the audio winner. That's okay with me. All right. Well, I guess that's it. We really appreciate you guys for watching, and we will see you on Tuesday. Boom.